Moving on to the next question, we have to state the equation of the following absolute value function. So we have this function here. We got -2 as being the y-intercept, and that also represents the vertex of the absolute value function. Then we got these x-intercepts of -4 and +4. So basically, we took the absolute value function, the parent function y equals absolute value x, which looks like this, and then we transformed it to get this, and we just have to find the value or the equation of the transform function. Well, one thing that definitely happened was this function was shifted down by 2 units because we went from this vertex at 0 and 0 on the parent function to now this vertex at 0 and -2. Okay, so we could start off with that. We can say we can say the absolute value function, it's been shifted down by 2 units. Now, what else can we solve for? Notice how it's probably been stretched. So we can maybe solve for this a value here. And notice how we can either put an a value or we can also put a k value inside. However, in my opinion, it's easier to just solve for this a value outside here because the k value is within the absolute value, and then solving for the k value within the absolute value when we're solving for it, it's just going to get more confusing, if that makes sense. So basically, when you're dealing with a question like this, specifically for absolute value functions, and they're asking you to find the transform equation, look for whether the function has been translated up or down. In this case, it's been translated down by 2 units. C value is going to be -2. Look if it's been translated left or right. Notice how this function hasn't been translated left or right because the x value of the vertex is still 0. Now, let's say that this was translated maybe, I don't know, 4 units to the right, then we would have x -4 in the absolute value. If it was translated 4 units to the left, it would be x +4, right? But it's not been translated left or right, so we just leave it as absolute value x. And then once you deal with the translations, you just have to solve for that a value with any point on that transform function, right? And the easiest point, not any point rather, you can't use the vertex because if you put 0 for x, then the a value goes away as well. So a point you can use is maybe this one here. This point is 4 and 0. So we would plug in 0 for y. We'd have a, absolute value 4 -2. So we'd have 0 equals, the absolute value of 4 is just 4 times a is 4a -2. To solve for a, bring the 2 over, we'd have 2, bring the -2 over becomes +2, so 0 plus 2 is 2. 4a, a is equal to 2 over 4, which is 1/2, which is 0.5. So the final transform function is y equals 1/2 absolute value x -2. All right, so when you're dealing, again, with an absolute value function that's been transformed and you have to find the equation, look for the c value and the d value. The c value in this case is translated 2 units down. C value is -2. It wasn't translated left or right, so the d value is 0, so we just leave absolute value of x by itself. And then all you have to do is you have to solve for that stretch. And the way you can do that is you could take any point on the function other than the vertex, plug it in. So in this case, we use 4 and 0, 0 for the y, 4 for the x. And then we solve for that a value here. And then we got our final equation. But you could have also used the point -4 and 0. Notice how it would give you the same thing. Because if this was -4, absolute value -4 would become +4 anyway, and you get that same value of for a as 1/2. So again, deal with the translations first, plug those in, and then solve for the a value with any point on the function other than the vertex, and you get your final equation. Yo, what's up guys? Thanks for checking out my channel. Hopefully you got some value from the video you just watched. If you did get some value, big favor to ask you, please like this video and subscribe to the channel. Any questions, any recommendations on things you'd like to see, please leave it in the comments section. Also check out the description box below for links to material and content related to the video you just watched. Peace out.